Hello, this is Angelia with today's wisdom. Today's wisdom is an inspirational story from Daily Inspiration on Beliefnet. You've got to have faith. As I battled life-threatening complications of surgery, two glowing beings appeared in my room to comfort me. And Alyssa Mardueno wrote this. I had just found out I was pregnant. I was about 6 weeks along when I fell and broke my leg. In the hospital, I was set to have a spinal anesthesia so the surgeon could repair the break with a plate and screws. The doctors tried for 1 hour to insert the spinal, but the needle would not go in. My blood pressure was getting dangerously high from the pain, so the doctors finally gave me general anesthesia. I was told I could lose the baby or it would be born with birth defects because I was put under. After I woke up from surgery, still pregnant, I was put into a cast. About 3 weeks later, I noticed that my toes were very swollen and purple. I called the doctor, but he insisted there was nothing wrong. The next day I called again and told the doctor I thought I had a blood clot. He sent me in for an ultrasound to calm my fears. Since I still had a cast on my leg, the ultrasound technicians could only look behind my knee. My doctor declared me free of blood clots. Afterwards, I continued to have a lot of swelling, so I called the doctor and asked if the cast could be removed. He agreed and put me in a walking boot with firm instructions not to walk on that leg, since it wasn't yet healed. 2 days later, when I tried to get out of my wheelchair and into bed, I had difficulty catching my breath. I thought maybe I was just out of shape, but my husband was so concerned that he took me to the hospital. All of the tests came back normal, but the doctor in the ER said she was going to give me a CT scan for malpractice purposes only. About 10 minutes later, I heard everyone in the ER running around. The doctor, looking pale, opened the curtains surrounding my hospital bed. I saw a nurse standing behind her with a bag of heparin, a medicine used to thin the blood and prevent blood clots. She told me that I had an extensive bilateral pulmonary embolism. I started to cry, terrified that I was going to die. Not only were my lungs filled with blood clots, but there was a huge clot left in my leg that the previous ultrasound had not shown. The doctor replied, "We are going to do the best we can for you." I was in the ICU for 2 days when a doctor told me I was going to die. He advised me to plan my funeral and write letters to my kids to open on their special days after I passed. As I lay in bed reeling from the news, I saw something incredible. 2 angels appeared in my room. They looked like white beams of light. I couldn't see their faces clearly, but I could see their arms and heads in glowing robes. At first I thought I was seeing things, but I know I was not. I couldn't tell if they were watching over me or were they there to take me home. Just then I got a call from one of my clients. I am an interior designer. When I picked up the phone, she told me she had a message for me from God. She said that God wanted me to have faith in Him and surrender my life to Him. She also said that my baby and I were going to be just fine, and that my son was sent to do God's work. I was in shock. I had not told any of my clients that I was sick or pregnant. How did she know I was in the hospital? My husband hadn't told anyone I was there. I turned off my phone and cried. I read the Bible with new conviction and prayed the whole day. I found faith. The next day I requested another ultrasound on my leg to look at the blood clot. I had faith that God had healed me. It took 3 ultrasound technicians to find the clot. It had shrunk overnight. Although the clots in my legs were still there, they were not life-threatening and would continue to be treated with medicine. 4 days later, I was released. The doctor called it a miracle. I proceeded to have a full-term pregnancy. During the delivery, I had to have a C-section, which was extremely dangerous considering I was on blood thinners, and I was told that I could bleed to death during surgery. But I still kept my faith in God and did not lose an ounce of blood. Today, almost 1 year later, I am well and free of any blood clots, and the proud mother of a happy, healthy baby boy. Having faith, believing in prayer, and giving my life to God was all God wanted. That's a good story. That's all for now.